Hi friends, here now we are going to see how to add a ledger to the shares and investors. So what is the purpose of adding ledger to the share and investors? So without adding ledger, the share and investors are cannot be clubbed into the accounts part. See, whenever you want to integrate with accounts, okay, so your share purchase or share sales, whatever you are doing transaction, has to get updated to the accounts part also. Then you need to integrate with the accounts. Okay. In that case, you need to generate ledgers for the shares and the investors. So whenever you add a share or update or delete, corresponding the ledger should be updated. Okay. So the respective ledger has to be added or updated or deleted, need to be done. So this how we are going to do. That is what this particular video we are going to discuss about. Okay. So first of all, let me see what are the connections I'm going to use to add ledger, update ledger and delete ledger. That I'll let you take you to that particular connections that we are going to see. Okay. I'll show you now. So here the connections are. So you know how to do this. So I mean you need to go into the extension and you need to figure out the connections. Okay. So I went into FRT initial. There I got the informations. Okay. You need not think too much worry about this one. Your admin will assist you whenever you want such the previous created objects. I mean initials informations. Okay, that shouldn't be a big issue. So I noted down in the I mean all the three. I mean add, update, and delete. Okay. So the all the three I have noted down. So whenever I add a share, the add should be add connection to be used, and update connection to be used, and delete connection to be used. Okay, so that the process is clear. Similarly for investors, so that's what we are going to do. So I made a note of it. Now I'll be going back to the share, and there I'm going to integrate this. Okay, so whenever a share is added, the ledger is also added, updated, or deleted, respectively. Okay, fine. So let me show that part now. So to enable the user function for the investor, because by using the user function only, I'll be able to integrate the ledger part. Correct. That's what we have seen in the previous videos also. So the similar thing I need to do. So to enable, first of all, I'm going to take the investor. Whenever an investor is added, the ledger to be added. That's the purpose. So I'll just enable the user function. Here, remark is ledger to be added. Okay. Ledger add. Okay. So done. So I'll save this one so that the extension is enabled. Okay. Now you see the investor. You could see the yes. So the user function is enabled. Right. Now I need to go back to the my ChatGPT or AI tool to generate the coding. Okay. That you know very well. But I'm going to show that also now. Okay. Fine. So let me take the template and I'll do that. I'll just going to show. So as we discussed earlier, the extension will be used to get the connections for the ledger. So I'll show you the ledger. So here from this initial, I took the ledger information. Okay. So here the connections are here like add, update and delete. This I took and taken in a notepad. Okay, fine. Similarly, I need to take the tag part also. So which I'll be doing now. So what I'll do, I'll go back, party, SQL and tag. From the SQL tag, I'll take from the ledger. So that I'll take copy, go to Notepad++, Control N, Control V. Then here I'll spot the ledger and get the details. Okay, here it is. So this is ledger add. And similarly, ledger update and delete. Okay. So all the three has been taken. And even if you are not in position to access this ledger information, the admin will be giving these details to you. So no big worry on this particular subject. So that admin will be assisting you in getting these details. Okay, fine. Now, the primary ID being add, the primary ID to be deleted. Of course, party ID yet to be furnished from the new ID. Okay, so that is a correct way. Okay, so I need not consider the ledger ID. Party ID will be there, which need to be taken from the new ID. Okay, that you will be seeing now. That and all you will be seeing now. Okay, so I take this one. Okay, this information is ready. Now, the next one is the template. So I had taken the information from the either I got it from admin or from the specific initial I had taken this information. Okay. Now I'm going to use the template for user ESAP's algorithm. Okay. Okay. Using the template, we are going to create the algorithm. Okay. And based on the algorithm, the AI tool will help us to generate the coding. Okay, that's what the plan. Okay. Now, first, let us try to understand the template. So, what is this algorithm all about? So, there is a main tag. Similarly, what we have for the share ad or investor ad. Similarly, something main tag is a purpose for some specific purpose. This tag is available. Okay, so nothing special. Okay, and the main tag sample is there. Now the response, whatever the response we are getting from the API call is here. And in the response, the new ID is the new main tag ID created to be used as foreign key wherever required. So what it actually says is when the API called, that I'm going to show you in detail what is all going to happen. Okay, so that you are going to see now. So once we call this API, okay, this particular post with the initial, we'll be getting this response. Okay, so that in the response, the new ID is we have received the new ID. What is new ID? That's the primary ID of the particular main tag. Okay, okay. So this new ID need to be used in the upcoming API calls. That's what they are saying. Okay. The sample procedure is here. The sample procedure is here. The sample procedure starts from here. Okay. Need not worry about too much on the sample procedure. You can just copy this and put it. The remaining things will be taken care by the your AI tool. Okay. The next step is call handle additive. That is the connection. This is a connection to call the subtag. Similarly, we need to call the ledger tag. Okay. That's what we need to do. And the ledger post. The ledger post to be called here. And where and here there is some business logic where subtag name to be taken from completed percentage of main tag. That is, of course, there is a business logic between the main tag and subtag. So we need not worry about that as of now. Now, whatever we required for the ledger, we are going to create the algorithm. That's the purpose behind the whole process. Okay. Now let us start one after the other. Okay. So let me take a new tab in the in the Notepad++. Okay. So what sent post? I'll copy these two and put it here. Okay. I'm going to put the investor ad. Okay. Fine. So to get the investor ad, again, I need to go to my N project. Okay. So from the share, we are going to take the tag, the required tag. Okay. So I'll go to I can just take a copy of it. Go to Notepad++. Start with investor. That's what we plan. Okay. So let me take the investor. Okay. So this is the investor ad, and I'm going to put it here. Okay. Okay. This is the investor ad. Fine. Now I'm going to put a sample data also for the same, because that is your data. Okay. So basically investor ID is not required because it's a primary. As we are adding it, so we doesn't need that one. So investor name. Investor name is okay. We'll put Ramakrishnan. So PAN number. Let's see. Created at, for example, okay, and Excel ID. Okay, Excel ID. I'll put it like 1 and calc ID as 1, or calc ID I'll put blank only. So I'm not going to give anything. Okay. So this is a sample post for the investor. Okay. Now what is the next step? Now we go back to the algorithm template response. So what the response I'll get once I call this one. So that you need to try with the API call. No other way. You have to go back to the API call. Let me save this one so that that's what we are doing. Okay. So I need to call this particular post and API in the API testing so that I will be able to do that one. So, okay. So let me go to that one. So I have kept this API testing open. So what we need to do is we need to copy the post, whatever we have created now. Okay. The post is this one, investor table add. Okay, fine. So this I'm going to paste here. Okay. Then the initial is, of course, SSHR, the share. Okay. Then call APA. So the result, the response is this one. So this response need to be copied to the algorithm template. The algorithm whatever we are taking. Okay. So this is a response. Okay, that's what given here. All right. So the response is this one. So I'll put the topic like a response. Okay, fine. So up to this, that we are just copied the template. Now again, we will check up with template what is. In the response, new ID is the main tag ID. Okay, I'll just copy this. I'll put it here. In the response, new ID is the new investor ID. Correct. Investor ID. Okay. To be used as a foreign key wherever required in the new, this new ID is to be sent as a response to the final response. Okay. So all these things are right. So we are going to maintain this thing as it is. Now I'll go to the algorithm again. Copy the whole sample procedure. Starting from here, line number 34 till 103. Okay. So that 102. Till the module dot exports. Okay. I can give a sample procedure over. Okay, so that you will know that. Okay, so I'll copy this one, sample procedure. Okay, this I'll put it in the algorithm, newer algorithm. Okay, fine. Now what else left? So the sample procedure is copied. So create a procedure with a name. Okay, whatever it is given here, that we need to duplicate, right? So let me copy this one and put it in the algorithm. Okay. So create a procedure with the name, handle entity, mlink main tag add. So what we need to do? We need to do for here we are trying to add the investor, right? So what we need to do, we need to know the connection of the investor. So how do you know about the connection of the investor? Then let us go back to the end project and we will find. So investor connection, correct? That is what required. So investor connection for add, that is what required. So handle entity SSHR investor table add one user usaps. Okay, this is what need to be copied here. Right. So what it says, create a procedure with name and entity share investor table add one user usaps. So we are trying to create a new procedure with this name using the above code. That's the purpose of this whole process. Okay. Now this is done. Okay. Up to this point is done. Now what is the next? The below procedure created, create a subtag for the main tag already called. Okay. So I will copy this and put it. The below procedure create a ledger. Correct. We need to create a ledger for the investor already called. Investor add already called. Okay, fine. So up to this is done. Now call. So what I need to call here? Call the ledger add, right? So ledger add procedure. So call handle entity F party ledger add procedure with the post as given below. What is the post? This is a post, right? Okay. So now the total process, whatever required for the FRT ledger add is copied here. Now only thing, what are the changes required with respect to this particular post is that we need to define. Okay. So I'm going to define. How do I'm going to define? See, this is the whole process. So far, whatever we have did is just an algorithm. Try to understand that one. I'm just adding the investor. For that, I'm putting the post and the sample post and the response for the sample post. And in the response, I'm getting new ID, okay, which has to be used wherever required. That's what we have discussed. And the sample procedure, which the AI tool need to generate, okay, need not very much too much on the procedure. We'll just skip that one. And the procedure over here, create a procedure with handle entity share investor table add one user ESAPs. This is the actual connection. Using this connection only, the procedure need to be created. That's what we are trying to say. Okay. And the below procedure create a ledger for the investor already added. So up to this, the investor is called. Now below that, the ledger to be created. Okay. And followed by now I need to use the connection of the ledger add. Okay. Connection of the ledger add to call so that the ledger is created. Okay. So now in the currently I am working on the ledger post. So what are the information? So I am going to give the detail. So party ID need to be taken from new ID because the new ID is nothing but your investor ID for which you are creating the ledger. Right. Right. This is a basic logic, business logic, nothing special. Then what is ledger name? Ledger name is investor name. Correct. Investor name. Okay. Ledger group ID is 1. So these are the information you'll be getting from your admin. Okay. Because you may not know what is ledger group ID and a ledger tree ID, all those things that you need to get the information from your. Now you are just trying to understand how to utilize the AI tool to generate a coding, and for that you are writing the algorithm. Okay, that's the purpose. Okay, and opening as of now 0 in the party table, party ID table. Okay, so party ID table is investor. That's because the party ID is related to the investor. So party table is also investor, right? Okay, that's it. So these are the changes required. The algorithm, okay, let me start again from the top. From the top, okay. See, the very purpose is we are adding the investor, okay. While adding the investor, after adding the investor, the ledger to be created. That's the purpose behind the whole process. Okay. For that, we are created an algorithm. Okay. To add the investor, the post is this, right? So we have sample post also. And once the investor is added, this is a response we are getting, okay? And in the response, new ID is created. New ID is nothing but the investor ID. And this investor ID to be used wherever required, that we have already informed in the algorithm. Now we are given a sample procedure which has to be used by the AI tool to create a sample procedure which will do all the work so far we have discussed. That means what are the all the work? Adding an investor, creating a new ID and keeping the new ID ready, making the procedure, then come down. Uh, so the new procedure to be called as handle entity share investor table add one, because this is a connection we are using to add an investor, right? So based on our n project detail, this is a connection we are using to create a investor. So that connection we are specifying here, so that this connection will be used in the procedure to create the procedure. Okay. So the below procedure create a ledger for the investor. Okay. So what is the connection to create the ledger? This is handle entity FRT party ledger add procedure with post given below and FRT ledger add. Okay. So this is a post. In the post, we have given all the detail what all to be taken from where. So for the party ID, new ID to be used. Ledger name, investor name should be used. The remaining things are all constant which we have given. And the party ID table is investor table, so that we have specified. That's it. So all this information is been furnished. Now we will generate the algorithm. Okay. I mean, the algorithm is ready. Now we will generate the coding file. Right. So let me copy this one. I'll go to the Google Chrome. I'll just open a new tab, ChatGPT, paste. Okay. Now I click here. Okay. So below is a complete procedure named. He is now the ChatGPT is giving. So handle entity share investor table add one user reserves a model exactly on your sample pattern with additional logic to create the investor ledger using, right? So he has given a detail. Call investor table add. First, extract the new ID as investor ID and uses the new ID as a party ID. Call F-party ledger add with exact fixed values as specified. Return the final response. Okay. And error and warning aggregation following the existing framework. So the procedure is ready. So the procedure is this one. So where the whole coding is copied, now I'll just copy this, put it in Notepad++. Okay. Let me go from the top. Okay. So the procedure is ready. So to make it more understandable, you need to say language is JavaScript, JavaScript. Okay, fine. So handle entity such as investor table add one user users. Okay, this is a function procedure, and a lot of codings are there. So need not worry too much on this. Just try to understand the basic logic is covered. So the procedure is called, but at this level it will be little confusing for you no matter what. Okay. Fine. I think mostly it is right. Perfect. So once the code is ready, you need to send the code to the admin. The admin will check and approve this one. That's what we need to do. So up to this, what you understand is we have created an algorithm to add an investor, and once the investor is added, ledger is also added based on the informations whatever we had, and with that we have sent this algorithm to the ChatGPT, that AI tool. It created the JavaScript file, and this JavaScript file you need to send to the your admin. Your admin will approve it. That's how the system works now. Then what next after the admin approves? That we will be seeing in the next coming videos. Okay. Thank you then.